രാഷ്ട്രീയത്തിലെ സമാദരണീയരായ രണ്ട് പ്രോജ്വല വ്യക്തിത്വങ്ങൾ സ്വാമി സാക്ഷി മഹാരാജ്, ഡോക്ടർ സുബ്രഹ്മണ്യൻ സ്വാമി. ഇരുവരെയും ഷാൾ അണിയിച്ച് ആദരിക്കുന്നതിനായി പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട മുകുന്ദേട്ടനെ സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. Our beloved guests, Dr. Sakshi Maharaj and Dr. Subramanian Swamy, we would like to drape a shawl as a token of our respect and regards. Swami Sakshi Maharaj. Dr. Subramanian Swamy. Dr. Subramanian Swamy, Kerala BJP, shawl അണിയിച്ച് ആദരിക്കുന്ന മഹനീയമായ നിമിഷം. നന്ദി അറിയിക്കട്ടെ. 1991 മുതൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ പാർലമെന്റിലെ സജീവ സാന്നിധ്യം. ധർമ്മരക്ഷയ്ക്കായുള്ള തീവ്ര തപസ്സിന്റെ മറുപേരാണ് സ്വാമി സാക്ഷി മഹാരാജ്. കർമ്മസാക്ഷിയായ സൂര്യസമാനം ജ്വലിക്കുന്ന താപസ ചൈതന്യം, ഇന്ത്യൻ ദേശീയതയുടെ പ്രോജ്വല ഭാവം സ്വാമി സാക്ഷി മഹാരാജ്. സ്വാമി സാക്ഷി മഹാരാജിനൊപ്പം ഈ വേദി അലങ്കരിക്കുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ ആദരണീയനായ ഡോക്ടർ സുബ്രഹ്മണ്യൻ സ്വാമി. The Indian economist, the daring politician and crusader, ഏകാധിപത്യത്തിനും ധനാധിപത്യത്തിനുമെതിരെ എന്നെന്നും പോരാടിയ ധിഷണാശാലിയായ ബൗദ്ധിക ക്ഷത്രിയൻ ശ്രീ സുബ്രഹ്മണ്യൻ സ്വാമി. ഇന്ത്യൻ രാഷ്ട്രീയത്തിലെ ഈ ഇതിഹാസത്തെ നമുക്ക് ഹർഷാരവങ്ങളോടെ വരവേൽക്കാം. Dr. Subramanian Swamy, sir, we are proudly invite you to speak on this occasion.
Our Kerala State President, Sri Radhakrishnan ji, Rajshekharan ji, our state BJP intellectual cell convener, Mohan Das ji, our eminent parliamentarian and spokesman for the Hindus of India, Sri Swamiji, the real Swami, Sakshi Maharaj. My name is Swami, but I am not real Swami. Similar, seated next to him, our well-known political leader of this party, Mukundan ji, Radhakrishnan ji, General Secretary of the state, and our Mohan Das, District President, and Mr. Prakash Babu. I am very privileged to be here today to speak on a topic which is of great historic importance, and that is how to bring Kerala back into the national mainstream. Yes, it is true that Congress party rules this state sometimes alternating to the communists. The communists also claim to be a national party. But the fact of the matter is that Congress party owes its allegiance to one family in Delhi, and that family is not even fully Indian family. A party which is supposed to have fought for the freedom of India owes its allegiance to one family, and it has no recognition to the party that was there in a galaxy of leaders in different states and center under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. Communist Party is not a really in Indian party. It is a branch of the international movement for communists, and that international movement itself is now in great difficulty because originally the Communist Party of Soviet Union was the father party of all communist parties, including the parties in Communist Party in India. And for many years, they considered this as the glorious future for communists, any communist, any country which adopts the communist theology or ideology. I had many interactions with EMS Nambutipal, and he used to tell me that they see America, they are having this financial crisis, that financial crisis. So I asked him, what about Soviet Union? He said, Soviet Union, there's no unemployment, there's no inflation, and there's no poverty. And every time I met him, he used to say this. So finally, in August 1991, when I met him the last time, I said, now there is no Soviet Union also. It is broken up into 16 countries. Same thing with Yugoslavia, broken up into 4 countries. Czechoslovakia into 2 countries. In the case of East Germany, it was merged into West Germany. Where is this communist school? Today there is one communist party, and that is the Chinese Communist Party, but they have given up the economic ideology completely and gone for market economy. So therefore the communist ideology has now disappeared. Even in our own country, you find communists shrinking and shrinking. Where is the communist? They were in Bengal, they are now not in Bengal, there is no chance of their coming back. Now they are in fact thinking of becoming junior partner of Mamata Banerjee. And they are presently in Tripura, but elections are coming there soon, and there will be a BJP government now in Tripura very soon. So the last bastion of the communists is Kerala, and their behavior is showing that they are nervous, because the other day I saw a news report that the Communist Party here now wants to create another Muslim majority district, taking parts of Palakkad and other districts, so that the Muslim League can also join with them. This is the kind of bankruptcy today we have in Kerala. And what this Kerala, which for us is popularly called the God's own country. Parsuram created it. Adi Shankara brought back the glory of Hinduism by traveling from Kerala all the way to Kashmir. It has 46 rivers. It has got the most educated population. They are abroad earning and sending back money because they can't get employment in this country. This Kerala has to be developed in the national framework. And in fact, Kerala people are so hardworking that I remember when I was a schoolboy at that time, Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary climbed up the Everest mountain, and there was a dispute whether Tenzing Norgay went first and reached the top, or Edmund Hillary went to the top first. And the quiz was who went there first. And the answer was neither went there. There was a Kerala coffee shop there, and that Malayali gave the coffee, and he was there first. That was the reputation of the hard work of the Kerala people. Yet so much unemployment, so much corruption, so much law and order problems, women are not safe here, and there are so many murders taking place. Why this so cultured, this highly cultured state, which gave us so many saints, so many temples. All the most holy temples are in Kerala. Why has it come to this? It is because of the fact that Kerala has had only alternating communist ideology and socialist ideology of the Congress. Both are out of date. In our own country, we had to give up socialism when Narasimha Rao became Prime Minister. Chandrasekhar was Prime Minister before that. That time I was a minister, I prepared the blueprints for shifting from socialist economy to a market economy. During the 40 years of Soviet socialism in our country, 1950 to 1990, we had only a 3.5% growth rate. And after bringing in market reforms, we have never grown below 7%. Narasimha Rao took it up from, at that time, the low growth rate of 3%, all the way to 8.5%. Congress party has not honored Narasimha Rao. They have forgotten him. In fact, Anthony was asked to write a report on the period of Narasimha Rao's economic reforms, and he condemned Narasimha Rao and he disowned it. Well, we in India own up Narasimha Rao, and I'm hoping one of these days that the BJP government will give him Bharat Ratna for his contribution. It is we who have been recognizing the real national heroes. You know, you'll be surprised to know that Ambedkar, he received his Bharat Ratna in the Janata government of 1990. And Sardar Patel, he received the Bharat Ratna in 1991 when Chandrasekhar was Prime Minister. It was also a Janata government. And I was law minister, and Chandrasekhar asked me, 26 January is coming, who should get Bharat Ratna? I said, let me look at the list. And I went through the list and I was surprised. Sardar Patel's name was not there. When I started looking in detail, I found that Bharat Ratna was begun to be given from 1954. And the first person who got it was Jawaharlal Nehru. And the file says that I, Jawaharlal Nehru, hereby give Bharat Ratna to Jawaharlal Nehru. Signed Jawaharlal Nehru. Next year, Patel's name was suggested, crossed out. Indira Gandhi also crossed it out. And the first time this great man who welded 600 or 500 kingdoms into one India, he got the Bharat Ratna in 1991. Ambedkar, great scholar, he went to Columbia. In Columbia, he got a PhD in economics. In 1916, I remember when I first went to get my PhD at Harvard University in 1962, even though those years, people in America had a very poor opinion of Indians. It's only after the software revolution their opinions changed, but they had such a poor opinion, they even thought we were cousins of monkeys. That is the extent of prejudice there was. And imagine 1916 to get a PhD in economics from Columbia. He wrote a thesis in monetary economics. Very good thesis I read it. Afterwards he went to Britain. He got a law degree. And after the law degree he went to India. And then Sardar Patel made him chairman of the drafting, Sardar Patel and Rajendra Prasad. They made him chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly to draft the Constitution. And he did a tremendous job and produced one of the best constitutions of the world. And he had no recognition till 1990. The Congress party put him into a corner. They wouldn't even call him Dr. Ambedkar, they used to call him Bhimrao. But in their own, when it came to their own leading family, the Nehru family, Jawaharlal Nehru went to Cambridge University. There he failed the exam. No member of the Nehru family has passed college exam, let me tell you that. And he came back and he was called Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. A man who should have been called Pandit is Ambedkar, not Jawaharlal Nehru. But our country, this is how the Congress party treated. This tall man, you may have disagreement with his views, but the fact is that wherever he is asked to perform, he performed. And performed brilliantly. So therefore I am saying that the same problem is affecting you in Kerala. The lack of recognition. The lack of recognition is because you are being ruled alternatively by the socialists and the communists. And both theories don't work. Socialism because everything is government oriented. Communism because it is all on force and compulsion. People have to be promoted and encouraged by incentives. That only market economy does. That is why we are getting such high growth rates even now when conditions of the economy, international economy are bad. So we have to therefore start thinking in these terms. And look at the amount of corruption today. There's so much corruption that we have 1,30,000 crores in dollars. That's about $1 trillion we have got abroad in foreign bank accounts. We have said we'll bring it back. We will definitely bring it back. But the fact of the matter is that who are the people who have put it there? People started attacking us, saying that you are attacking the Congress party because you are their opponent, you have grudges against them, etc. But look what happened in National Herald. National Herald was a newspaper started not by Jawaharlal Nehru as they are claiming, but by 11 people, which included Jawaharlal Nehru, but he bought only one share of 10 rupees. All the others bought several shares. Ravi Ahmed Kidwai, Acharya Narendra Dev, Kalarnath Kajju, all these great freedom fighters, they bought several shares and started in 1937 National Herald. After independence, Jawaharlal Nehru became Prime Minister, so he started giving facilities to make the National Herald grow. So he gave concessional land in the most prime area of Delhi. He gave it in Chandigarh, he gave it in Bombay, he gave it in Bhopal, he gave it in Indore, he gave it in Lucknow. He gave concessional bank loans. And the National Herald infrastructure grew to over 5,000 crores. Suddenly in 2007 or 2008, they decide to close down National Herald. And they say that the management of the National Herald, which is a company which is called Associated Journals Limited, that company's management said, we were given loans of 90 crore rupees by the Congress party and we are not able to pay back, so we are closing down. I don't understand why you should close down a company for 90 crores when you've got 5,000 crores of property. You can sell one property and clear this out, clear the debt. But instead of that, what they do, they create a new company, private limited company called Young Indian. Only 5 lakh rupees share capital. And of that, 76% of the shares is owned by Sonia Gandhi in her personal capacity and Rahul Gandhi in his personal capacity, 12% by Motilal Nehru, Motilal Vora, and another 10% by another 12% or the remainder by Oscar Fernandez. And this private company says that Associated Journals Limited is closed down. So, therefore, because they can't pay the loan of 90 crores, therefore, the director of the Young Indian Private Limited Company should go and meet the treasurer of Congress Party with a proposal. Now, who is the director they have chosen from National Herald? Motilal Vora. And he goes to Congress Party to meet the treasurer of Congress Party. And who is the treasurer? Motilal Vora. So Motilal Vora goes to meet with Motilal Vora and tells him that you can't get this loan of 90 crores back. So it is a dud loan now. It is called a dud, to be thrown away. But we will give you 50 lakh rupees if you can transfer that loan liability to our company. So Congress Party says, Congress Party Motilal Vora says to Young Indian Motilal Vora, if Associated Journals Board of Directors agree, we are agreeable. So Motilal Vora goes to Associated Journals Limited to talk with the chairman of the Board of Directors. Now, who is the chairman of the Board of Directors of Associated Journals? Motilal Vora. So Motilal Vora goes as a representative of Young Indian to Young Associated Journals and talks to Motilal Vora and tells him that, you see, we are now the owners, because Congress Party has said that if you agree, then we become the owner of this loan. And you cannot pay us this loan. So you give us 9 fresh shares of 10 rupees each. 10 rupees is the price in 1937, now also 19. And therefore, Motilal Vora agreed with Motilal Vora and issues 9 crore shares, and 99.1% of the total shares of Associated Journals Limited now becomes in the ownership of Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. And they become the owner of this company with 5,000 crores of property, and only by investing 50 lakhs. Now the accounts show that even the 50 lakhs was not given. And the 90 crores which they claim they gave to Associated Journals, the Congress Party account shows that they never gave. All fake. So the case is going on now. Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, and others got arrested and they got bail. I did not object to bail because this is not the time to put them in the jail. Let them be outside. When they are convicted, let them go to jail. So this is the state of the President and Vice President of the Congress Party. They defrauded the country by taking away what was meant for a printing press and bringing out newspaper and making it personal property, and now they've given out the buildings on rent. In Bhopal, they made it into these grand shopping centers, mall as it's called. In Bombay, Bandra, they have built a huge skyscraper, luxury skyscraper. Haryana, they have converted it into a garden for playground for people to come on a fee. So they have all made it and become enriched. And this is all along the Congress Party. Today, Chidambaram is also in trouble. He will also go to jail. Aircel and Axis. His son has taken money. He's got 21 bank accounts abroad. And he's looted every foreign investment promotion board clearance of his father. He got money. And now they are caught. He will also go to jail. Raja and Nimuri have already gone to jail. They are allies. Now you see, this way it is going. Then recently the jail superintendent Tihar knows a friend of mine, and he said, please tell Mr. Swamy not to send so many Madrasis to jail. I said, why? He said, said, my cook in Tihar jail only knows how to make aloo puri. These people want masala dosa and vada. I said, tomorrow somebody is coming who's going to ask you spaghetti and pizza. Then what will you do? So many congressmen are going to go to jail in the end. Then they can hold their central working committee inside Tihar jail. This party is going to represent Kerala. So it's the time for you to think. The communists are a failed party. They don't go by our constitution. One of their, I think their state secretary has said that the Indian army, what they will do, they will rape Kerala women. Is this a way for the state secretary to talk? I later found out this is the party stand. They said the same thing when Indian troops went to Sri Lanka. So they want to demean the Indian army. And they have historically supported all separatist movements in our country. In 1945 documents which are now available in the archives, there are documents to show that the Communist Party supported Khalistan also at that time, at the time of our independence struggle. So this Communist Party, which is a failure all over the world, whose popular vote, which was 22% in 1952, has come down today to less than 4%. And even their symbol is going to be removed. In another election, there will be nothing left. So this Communist Party cannot transform Kerala. And so Kerala must now think in these terms, how to transform themselves and make this as a part of the national movement. Keralites must think of themselves as Indians first and Malayalis afterwards. Now I am wanting to ask you, why the Communist Party targeting the RSS? They are murdering them. RSS is all over the country. CPM, some cadres are all over the country. Nowhere else they are doing it, only in Kerala. I suppose they think that if they did in any other part of the country, then they will be butchered perhaps. So they are concentrating on Kerala. This is atrocious. This is something which we cannot accept in our country. And then they are celebrating afterwards also. The government of India can take action. They are now getting agitated if we say Armed Forces Special Powers Act should be applied. Please read the Act. Any district can be taken under the Armed Forces Special Powers Act if you can show the act is an act of terror. When you engage in violence to overall a population, that is called terrorism. Terrorism is not only Islamic terrorism, but it is terrorism which is intended to overall the population. What are they trying to do? They are killing RSS innocent people because they want to terrorize RSS. Well, RSS is not going to get terrorized. But I think now, after having looked at the constitutional provision, I think today, because it means that the police and the magistrates are not doing their duty, and therefore we have to think of some constitutional measures. Article 247 of the Constitution says that the central parliament can appoint magistrates in districts whose seniority will be above the seniority of the state magistrates. That means the senior most magistrate can pass any order, issue any warrant. So this is one thing that we can do, particularly in Kaloor, appoint a magistrate who is under the central government through an act in Parliament. We also can, of course, send army under the Armed Forces Special Powers Act to police the Kaloor district. But we are not going to keep quiet. We have been trying to make sense to them. We have been explaining to them, but they are not listening. And they are targeting RSS because they are afraid that RSS may grow. And RSS must grow because that is for the safety of Kerala. Anywhere where Hindus are not in majority, anywhere in India, there is no democracy. In Kashmir, there is democracy in Jammu because Hindus are majority. There is a democracy in Ladakh because the Buddhists are there, but akin to us. It's in the valley of Kashmir where you find no democracy. 500,000 Hindu Pandits were driven out. Every day they talk about some vigilante killing some people. What about this 500,000 Kashmiri Pandits who were driven out? No discussion whatsoever. Nobody talks about it. And they had to live in refugee camps in their own country, which 80% is Hindu. So the reason why we must ensure that this country has an absolute majority of Hindus is because we want democracy. And it's only democracy which can protect it and protect this country, and therefore we need a majority of Hindus. Here, your population of Hindus is being contracted. Today it's 51-52%. And you're all divided, Nayars and Iravas and Brahmins and all kinds of castes. And the entire political attempt is to divide the Hindus on the basis of caste. And people don't understand that these are not the fundamentals to our Hindu religion. These Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, Vidulkas, these have got nothing to do with birth. You have no bigger authority than Lord Krishna in Gita, saying that this has got to do with gunas. It was a division of labor. Two great rishis, Bhrigu and Bhardwaja, they wanted to design a social structure. And they said, the best social structure is that there is no concentration of power. And power comes from 4 sources. Number 1, from knowledge. Number 2, from weapons. Number 3, from wealth. Number 4, from land, ownership of land. These are the 4 sources of power. And so the division of labor should be such that no one person gets more than one source of this power. So if you are going to follow the knowledge path, then you must give up weapons, you must give up wealth, you must give up land. And that is what was the concept of a Brahmin or a Rishi. And Kshatriya, again, only he could use weapons to protect the country. But when it came to policy, he had to ask for the advice of those who had knowledge. This is the way we divide our society. And it will not based on birth. Vishwamitra was born in a Kshatriya family. Yet he became a Maharishi. Veda Vyasa's mother was a fisherwoman. Yet as a Maharishi he wrote the Mahabharata. Kalidasa was a Vanavasi. He was cutting branches of trees. When the princess took him and made him into a great poet. Similarly, you have Valmiki, he was a Dalit. And there's a Valmiki caste of Dalits today, you can go and talk to them. He was a Dalit, but he, for a brief while, he was a dacoit, and later on he became a Maharishi. He wrote the Ramayana. Where is the proof that this birthplace, as I said, Krishna says in Gita, that has got to do with gunas, it's got nothing to do with birth. And so it is suddenly got Vijit in terms of birth. This birth concept is to be demolished. And we are one people, right from Kerala, all the way to Kashmir and from Jamnagar in Gujarat to Dibrugarh in Assam. And that proof comes in the DNA studies, which have been published in the Journal of Genetics. in England, in Cambridge University, in Houston University, in Mysore University, all say that we have the same DNA. Brahmins have the same DNA as scheduled castes. Similarly, Hindus and Muslims have the same DNA, which means all these Muslims are converted from Hindus. And there is no difference whatsoever. There may be difference in the skin color, but that's got to do with the sun. It's got nothing to do with DNA and your genetics. The closer you are to the equator, the darker will be the skin. That's the pigmentation. So, this whole thing has been fed into us by the British to divide our society. Aryans and Dravidians. Where is the word Aryan in any of our Sanskrit literature? No, nowhere. Arya is there. Arya means a civilized person. It's got nothing to do with race. Dravida was a word invented by Adi Shankara to mean where the three, it was a sandhi of two words, to mean where the three coastlines meet, which is South India. But the British gave it a totally different meaning, and in Tamil Nadu, the Dravidian movement started. Karunanidhi used to argue with me. No, we are different people. Ravan was our king. And this northerner Rama, he came and killed him. How you can talk it? I will celebrate Ravan Leela, not Ram Leela. And I explained to him that Ravan really was born near Delhi in a place called Noida. There's a village called Kisra. If you ever go there, you can see it. He went to Mansarovar and got a boon from Lord Shiva. And that's how he went to Sri Lanka, conquered it, defeated his relative Guber, and became king of Sri Lanka. And yet, Karunanidhi went on and on this. But now, Karunanidhi has given up Ravan. Now he doesn't talk. Now he only talks against Rama, and he makes fun of Rama all the time. When I was arguing the case in Supreme Court on saving Ram Setu, he said, "Who's Swami to call this Ram Setu? Did Ram build it? Did he have an engineering degree?" This is the kind of joke he used to make. But soon after he fell sick, and he had to be admitted to hospital. And the hospital's name was Ramchandra Medical Hospital. So I sent him a get well card and said, make sure that Ramchandraji has got MBBS, otherwise he might die in the hospital itself. This is the kind of thing to divide the country. All these years, the Hindus were getting divided on caste basis. That is, Yadavas and Kurmis and etc. And the minorities were being united. 2014 was the first election, when the Hindu consolidation vote went from 21%, which was always our maximum for Jansan Khan, to 31%. And that's why we got majority. Tomorrow it goes up to 39%, we'll get 2/3 majority in Parliament. And it is Hindutva which is the basis of our victory. And we have united the Hindus. In Kerala, if 30% of Hindus unite, forgetting their caste, BJP will come with absolute majority. And that is what we should aim. And there is now that we are in power, we are getting Muslim votes also. All the women who want triple talaq to go, they voted for us this time. Out of 125 Muslim influenced constituency of UP, we have 185. Because the women voted for us. Even Kerala Muslim women now are sending me petitions, why not to get us inheritance rights and so on. Because in Hinduism, of course, men and women have been traditionally equal. We may have lost it in the last 1,000 years. But traditionally, men and women were equal. In fact, they were more powerful. If you look at Brahma's cabinet, all the important portfolios are with women. Finance is with Lakshmi, defense is with Durga, and education is with Saraswati. What does the male god have? Only one: information broadcasting with Narad Muni. So it is in this context I am telling you, if you want to save Kerala, I am telling of course our people, but I am saying this is what we tell the people. They are dividing you and uniting them. You unite yourself and divide them. That will be the policy that we have to follow, and we have to see that all good people are protected. You have a Director General of Police called Senthil Kumar, I think. Senthil Kumar. No, Senthil Kumar. He is from Tamil Nadu. Yes, I thought so. And the Supreme Court nearly sent the Chief Minister on contempt to jail. Finally, they had to do it. Therefore, today the whole country wants to liberate Kerala from communist and socialist rule. And we are all with you. And you must work for Hindu consolidation and see that all of us forget our caste and other differences, come together at least at election time to vote as Hindus. That is the salvation for Kerala. Thank you very much.
Dr. Subramanian Swamy, we thank you for your imploring words and glorious presence. Thank you, sir. Indian ദേശീയതയുടെ പ്രോജ്വല ഭാവം ഭാരതത്തിന്റെ ആദർശ പുരുഷൻ ഭഗവാൻ ശ്രീരാം